Tomorrow, the nation will witness the historic signing of the Comprehensive Agreement on the Bangsamoro, which will be held in Malacanang, a major milestone for President Aquino's leadership in his quest for peace for all Filipinos. Tonight, we are joined by one of the young leaders of the Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao, which will provide the transition to the Bangsamoro entity, Attorney Laisia Alamia, the Executive Secretary of the ARMM. Good evening, ma'am, and welcome to NewsLife.
Good evening.
Ma'am, what is the mood of our people in the 5 provinces of the ARMM for the historic signing of the Comprehensive Agreement on the Bangsamoro, and are they confident this will bring peace and development in the area?
Well, generally, the people are very happy, and all of us, particularly the government under Regional Governor Muji Fataman of the ARMM, hail the historic signing, the impending historic signing of the Comprehensive Agreement on the Bangsamoro. This signals the beginning of hopefully the possibility of a long-lasting peace in Mindanao, particularly in the Muslim Mindanao area.
Ma'am, it has taken 17 years for the government to win the peace. Now, it took less than 2 years for President Aquino to win the peace. Are you hopeful that this commitment will be sustained until his term ends in 2016?
Well, we are very hopeful. We can see that the president has the political will, and he's the only president who had the political will to actually see through the finalization of the Comprehensive Agreement on the Bangsamoro. We're also hoping that all the stakeholders and everyone else at the national level, the mainstream Filipinos, would be supporting the peace process and would be supporting the Bangsamoro Basic Law that would be drafted by the Bangsamoro Transition Commission and which will be turned over to Congress before its ratification through a plebiscite by 2015.
Now, the conflict in central Mindanao has delayed development. Do you see now that its pace will be enhanced to ensure poverty caused by the conflict will be among the priority areas for development?
Well, right now, the ARMM is doing some reforms in the current structure of the ARMM. We know that there are structural infirmities in the way the ARMM was set up under RA 9054. And we're looking at a Bangsamoro Basic Law that's going to take into consideration these structural infirmities and make sure that this will no longer be present during the Bangsamoro. So hopefully, when the structural infirmities are removed to the passage of the new Bangsamoro Basic Law, the development programs that can poverty would continue to be implemented and unhampered by any conflict.
Now, 5 provinces of the Bangsamoro entity to be created are rich in natural resources. Now, will the wealth sharing with the national government boost growth in the area?
Yes, it will definitely boost the growth in the area. Well, right now under RA 9054, there is a wealth sharing agreement, but in the Bangsamoro Basic Law, what's going to be included there is more than what we already have in the ARMM. So there will be a higher share in for the Bangsamoro when it comes to wealth. Like for example, for taxes and other charges, the Bangsamoro government will have 75% share compared to the current 70% share in the ARMM.
Now we've seen the worst of the conflict. Now, what are your personal expectations and tomorrow with the historical signing and things that will have to move on from there on, the things, the implementation and everything else?
Well, personally, we would like to get this comprehensive agreement in the Bangsamoro we would like to see this be and we hope that everybody would be cooperating. We're also hoping that the spoilers would not come in and try to destroy the start of this new beginning. We know that this is very difficult. This is just the start. The struggle has not ended and will not end with the signing of the Comprehensive Agreement on the Bangsamoro. We still have to make sure that the new Bangsamoro Basic Law would be implemented to the letter. We also have to make sure that the right people will be the ones who will be governing the new Bangsamoro political entity. So a combination of that would make sure that finally there will be lasting peace in Muslim Mindanao.
Ma'am, and a final word from you. We know there's still a lot of work to be done from here on.
Well, final word is that we would like to thank, of course, our ancestors who have shed their blood and sweat in the struggle for the right to self-determination for the Bangsamoro. We'd also like to congratulate and thank the President of the Philippines and also the MILF Peace Fund the GPHP's panel for making sure that this time on, after 17 years of negotiation, we're going to have a comprehensive agreement on the Bangsamoro. Hopefully, all of the problems that we're having right now would be resolved, and hopefully everybody would be in it and buying into this peace advocacy.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much for joining us here tonight at NewsLive. That was Attorney Laisia Alamia, Executive Secretary of the Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao. Thank you, ma'am.